And ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very, very exciting segment, travel updates with Tanvi Goel of AusIndia Travels. And it is exciting times because the travel bubble has burst. So Tanvi, once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Umeshi. Thank you, everyone. Once again, we're here, and today is 27th episode. So how exciting is that? And thank you very much once again for such an overwhelming response. Today, again, we got you all the main updates of the week, and we're going to tell you all about flights as well. So just stay tuned. Now, before we go ahead, I would like to inform you all that all information we discussed today are general information only. And these details or information can differ person to person. So please always check all the relevant websites because rules and regulations can change anytime.
And as they do, as the rules and regulations can change anytime. And right now, what is happening might not happen tomorrow or something might happen. So it's always advisable to check the relevant websites and get up-to-date information as well. So that is very. So 27th episode, congratulations, and we've done very, very well. I think this is really, really exciting. Well, right now, so moving on, what are the main updates for this week?
So guys, first of all, we'll definitely talk about the international travel because we received so many messages even last week as well, and everyone's like, come on, tell us and what we think that international travel is going to start or whether we have any update about that. So yes, guys, this time I have an update. So there was a meeting happened in Perth a couple of days ago where our Prime Minister Scott Morrison was also there, and he actually listed business travel as one of the several priority reasons to restart international travel. In the forum, he also mentioned that people who are fully vaccinated, especially corporate travelers, would be among the first range of travelers allowed to head overseas. And he also signaled that these people might can do just a home isolation instead of hotel quarantine upon their return. So guys, this is really amazing signal that and I'm optimistic that if the corporate travelers get that, once they start, it will be slowly open to the remaining people as well. So that's really quite exciting. And generally for other people, guys, we are expecting some good news maybe in next couple of months till June that they might open, especially for students or the temple residents who have job over here, and also the home quarantine option might come in next few months. So just stay tuned for that. After that, guys, I got update with the Jetstar. So Jetstar Boeing 787 is back after more than a year. So Jetstar operate Dreamliner flights on domestic routes in Australia. They're going to start. They mainly have 11 Boeing 787, and they grounded basically last year in March 2020. At Avalon Airport, but recently they relocated that to Alice Spring, and they're going to start 5 of those Dreamliners. And their first flight they're planning to start on 1st of June. That will be Melbourne to Gold Coast, and on 25th of June they are planning to start other sectors of Melbourne. And most probably in first week of July they're going to start more flights from Melbourne and Sydney. For example, from Sydney, they are planning to Cairns, so Sydney to Cairns and Sydney to Gold Coast. And this particular aircraft, guys, got 335 seats and 21 business class available as well. So as you know that, these days, domestic flights and domestic travel, in fact, New Zealand travel is going really amazing. So this is really great initiative from Jetstar to resume this flight. Just remember one thing, that the business class, seats available on those flights might not have all the features you generally have in international. So they probably won't have the, full set menu and in-flight entertainment like you generally do in business. But definitely it's amazing. You will have a great experience sitting in business class, and they're basically using it for extra room spaces. So, but yes, it's really quite exciting that things are opening up and everything is all exciting around. So since we're talking about excitement, let's have a look what's happening in New Zealand. So let's have a look the amazing, the welcome view or Australian Scott. So here it is for you. And here is another glimpse, guys, of New Zealand, which you can have a look. There were 387 387 people arrived in this plane. In fact, our Prime Minister of New Zealand was also there to welcome everyone. So here's another glimpse for you.
A hero's welcome from the fire and rescue team at Queenstown's airport. It's been 387 days since the last plane arrived with international passengers. And loved ones were reunited across New Zealand. Some met their grandchildren for the first time.
We've waited so long, it's fantastic.
He's 5 months old, first time it was
For others, it was bittersweet, flying in for funerals, but still relieved to be able to get here.
It's sad circumstances that she's here for the loss of their brother, but we're happy that we get this opportunity.
Excited crowds greeted the happy travellers, and even the Prime Minister was greeting arrivals.
The spirit of welcome that is here amongst everyone that's working here, it's been incredible.
Alexander and Tram Andrich arrived in Queenstown for a honeymoon after marrying in Sydney on the weekend. They took the chance for a free bungee jump.
There we go.
Eager Airlines carried up to 10,000 passengers across the Tasman today, most of them into New Zealand.
We're adding 16 flights a day to New Zealand, return flights a day, and they're full.
It also means hundreds of airline crews are flying again. In Melbourne, travellers were sent off with a smile. And people were just so happy to leave.
It's amazing. It's been a long time, so really looking forward to it. Meeting our 10-month-old new niece, so as well, it'll be great.
But it's not just happy families.
Some very emotional scenes there, and wonderful to see those smiles on everyone's faces, especially, the grandchildren meeting their grandparents. Tanvi.
Really amazing and very emotional as well. Maybe I must say that. And guys, there was another news I saw that because of this travel bubble, seemed there are a lot of staff in airlines industry, especially those who are flying to New Zealand. They're going to resume. I heard like 500-600 people gonna get their jobs back. So very well done. Keep booking them, keep going, and keep exploring. It's really quite exciting. I also got news from Air New Zealand. So they're calling all the Qantas and Virgin Australia Gold and higher status members to sample its Air Points Gold status for the next 4 months. So qualifying travelers will be able to test out the benefits of being on airport Gold tier member, gaining access to lounges, complimentary frequent flyer sitting, priority check-in, boarding, priority baggaging, additional carry-on and checked baggage allowances. So if you are the gold or high status member in the Qantas or Virgin Australia, you must try the Air New Zealand, what offers they are giving you. So there are so many exciting things happening around. I also got update from the Fiji bubble, because I know you guys are quite, thinking about Fiji, that after New Zealand, that's what gonna start. But guys, at this stage, seems we have to hold for a bit, because they had one case happened in Fiji, and seems that she was a 53 years old woman who was determined to be in close contact of a soldier who contacted the virus COVID-19 quarantine facility in Nadi. So at this stage, they're planning to maybe hold for a moment for some time, but slowly, hopefully very soon, the green lane in Fiji going to start. So especially in big 2 cities, Nadi and Lautoka. And next up from Emirates and IATA Pass. So if you remember from last 5-6 weeks, we have been talking about IATA passes and what all airlines are, initiating or coming forward to experiment or, trial on these IATA passes. So this time, turn is of Emirates. I think there was not a single episode we spoke without Emirates. So this time, Emirates trial IATA Pass. So Emirates has commenced trialing the IATA passes on selected routes in Dubai and Barcelona and London airport to Dubai. And the carrier also indicated a trial will be soon available for other routes as well. That will be that means you will be eligible. The eligible passengers will be invited to download the app and enroll for the digital travel pass ahead of their travel. So I think we would be, using all these services very soon. So stay tuned for that. And also Emirates got another news that just in case, since everyone is starting flying and thinking of booking the tickets. So just remember, Emirates recently has reactivated the partnership with Jetstar Asia that will see each airline's passenger seamlessly transiting through Singapore Changi Airport, and Emirates passenger can travel in these Jetstar flights, and they are mainly connecting to 8 key Southeast Asian destinations such as Bangkok, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, Manila, Penang, etc. So this is exciting news as well. And remember, guys, if you are booking Emirates flight, like I mentioned before, so I'll mention you again, that if you are flying in Emirates first flight and second flight is Fly Dubai, then you might not able to get the hotel or the lounge, free lounge services from Emirates. So just before you book, just check those stuff as well, that whether you need a hotel or lounge services. So next is from the Fly Dubai. They have also announced that new seasonal routes for summer. So they're adding the Turkish destination, Bodrum and Trabzon in its schedule. And that airlines network has now grown to 78 destinations in 45 countries. So Fly Dubai also has a lot of options. The only thing I'm saying that when you book it, just make sure if there's a longer transit, which airlines with which combination is giving you free services such as lounges and hotel. Next up from Air Canada. So Air Canada has expanded its refund policies to allow all the passengers who have purchased non-refundable tickets on after 1st of February 2020. They all can get the full refund as well. So like earlier, seems they stopped for a while, and some people thinking, we just have a credit or maybe we'll, use in future. So if you think that you're not able to fly for a bit longer, then it's better that you just apply for your refund. Not only for the flights, if you have bought the that vacation packages with Air Canada before 13th of April 2021, you can, and you have cancelled for any reason, still you can apply for the refund. So that's really good time for you to apply for refund if you are planning not to fly in next few months or when they open for next year or so. Next up is from Hawaii Airlines. So they have scrapped the 18 months expiry from the for members to use the Hawaiian Miles points. So if you remember, generally people used to, they have to reactivate or use some points or do bit of activities, otherwise your point expires. But this time they said, you don't have to worry about 18 months, guys. They have announced it that all your points are there forever. So, and that starts immediately as well. So you don't have to worry about that. And next up from the news from Los Angeles Health Security. So Los Angeles has launched an initiative to become the first share care verified destination in US. And the health security of all the hotels with 50 or more rooms in Los Angeles will be verified through a comprehensive process that assures that the guests and travel planners that it's they are staying at the appropriate safety procedures are in place whichever hotel they go. So they have already started with some hotel, and the verified cover more than 360 health and hygiene standard and cleaning products. So whenever you go in all these places, then you know that you're 100% secure and they are following all the rules. Next is from Qatar Airways. So Qatar Airways and JetBlue have expanded their strategic partnership with American low-cost airlines passengers, now able to book travel on 9 of QR routes between the US and Doha. So you you might be thinking that, oh my God, there are so many airlines and doing so many partnerships. And that, guys, definitely to give us, more options, keep us safe. So all the hotels and airlines, they all are working behind the scene and trying to make sure that once everything opens up and whatever little sector they already open, they are making sure that everything is touchless and digital and everything is clean and all the procedures are followed. Next news from Malaysian Airlines. They have also launched something called a sustainability blueprint, so wide-ranging document that outlines a number of environmental objectives, including achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2050. So as we know that the whole year when there was no flight flying and the sky was all blue and everything was great. So so once everything opens, still airlines are planning that they'll be for that there's zero carbon emissions, and there are so many technologies are there which they are experimenting. And Malaysian Airlines is also thinking to invest in fuel conservation, carbon offsetting initiatives, and using all the biodegradable materials and all sort of things, so which is really amazing. And I'm sure after Malaysian Airlines, there'll be more airlines would come and share this kind of great thoughts. And next one is from Israel, is from May. So I know some of you really likes to go to Israel as well. In fact, I heard from some people that they do business with Israel online and they have to fly for business purposes as well. So for you all, those who really need to fly to Israel, the country is planning to open from 23rd of May, and that's definitely for those who are vaccinated. So if you're not vaccinated yet and you think you have to fly there, you must get your vaccination as soon as possible. So they basically started after over a year. The borders were shut, but they are planning to open it very soon. And with the first stage to see a limited number of nations allowed under a pilot program. So yeah, but they are going to start from next month onwards. So these are the main updates for now, Mishti.
And that is amazing. There's so much that's happening out there. You were talking about that business classes once, that got me excited. It's a time to book some flights. And it is good to see that the travel bubble has opened, of course, with New Zealand initially, and it might, as you reckoned, that it's not open yet, but it's probably in the pipeline that soon they might have Fiji because of it's not open yet because of that one reported case. But anyway, moving on. So, if you are from Brisbane at the moment, so what are the flight options from Brisbane?
So guys, I'll probably recommend you all to fly with Emirates these days. The main thing is I haven't seen any flight cancel in last whole month, and they are really absolutely doing well. Though they are with longer hauls, but it's still, we can get you lounges or hotels. You can stay there comfortably. Mainly, we have a short haul option for Delhi sectors as well. Brisbane to Dubai, Dubai to Delhi, where you can have 4 hours option. Otherwise, the rest of the sectors are mainly 16.5 hours. And only to those who are planning to fly to Bombay, I generally recommend not to go with Emirates, because we have seen some past passengers told us that if you land with Emirates in Dubai, since the officials, they're asking you to do a seven days mandatory quarantine. So if you're going to Bombay, better you go with Emirates to Delhi and then take a domestic flight, or you can take any of the charter flights as well. So let me tell you the charter flight dates, not only for those who are in Bombay. Also, if you have to, visit some family members in Sydney or Melbourne, or if you think you want to go on a shorter stop options, you can always take charter flights. Next available charter flight, we have a 29th of April, 15th of May, 22nd of May, 29th of May. So for next 5 weeks or so, we have quite a few charters. And flight-wise, guys, if you are in emergency, every couple of days we can connect you from somewhere. And from Brisbane, it's one-stop flight every Friday. Amazing.
It's wonderful that you've got so many connections here from Brisbane, and I think that little tip about in India, how you get slightly different treatment if you on your port of landing. So that is quite good to know there as well. Well, okay. What about the options from Sydney at this point in time? So what are our options from Sydney?
So from Sydney, we have flight. We have Emirates flight going at least 1 or 2 every week, and also right now only one charter available. That's on 20th of May. If you want to go straight from Sydney. Also, for those who are planning to go to Bangalore, there is one charter going to Bangalore on 7th of May. But there are plenty of flights from Sydney as well.
So there you are with those up to date with Tanvi. Well, right now, moving on from Sydney, we go to Melbourne. So what are the updates from lucky Melbourne?
Okay, I can see your eyes are bright when we talk about Melbourne. Yes, guys. So as Meiji said, Melbourne is always lucky because Melbourne got the maximum flight. So Melbourne, you have a shortest flight option because charters are there. And charters pretty much every week or in a couple of weeks, 29th April till 29th of May. And you can take charters. These all charters, Sri Lankan Airlines charter going in night from Melbourne, 10 o'clock and reaching in morning to Delhi. And from Delhi, we can make you all the connection around India. And also, if you want to take Emirates flight, you want to have more flexibility and refundable options, then you can take Emirates. So remember, in charter flights, most of the charter flights are 100% non-refundable and mostly are non-changeable as well. So if you think you might change your plan or something, it's best you take Emirates flights. But you have so many options from them.
And that is a very, very sound advice there as well, that, if you are not sure. So, okay, so now that we've got Melbourne covered, let's go all the way to Adelaide. And so what are the flight updates from Adelaide at this point in time?
Okay, so from Adelaide also we have a couple of flights every week. That's the Emirates flights. And if you think you have to go straight to Delhi and you probably have to meet your friends in Melbourne or somewhere else, you can always go via charters as well. And the same charters which we have in Melbourne or Sydney, we can connect you from Perth, from Adelaide as well. And they are 29th April till 29th of May. So yes, there are quite a few options.
So there are quite a few options from Adelaide, which is quite good. And what about Perth? So, what are our options from that corner of the country? So
from Perth, guys, I'll probably recommend you Emirates flights for sure, because the flights from Perth are shortest options. And why do you have to go to different cities? Unless you can't fly on those destinations and or you want to go on a certain dates, you can take charter flights, which is again on 29th May up to 29th April to 29th of May. Otherwise, you have Emirates flights available, at least 2 flights available directly from Perth, or we have every couple of days we have option available from Perth to India, to any part of India. We can connect that as well. But Emirates is the best option for you to fly at this stage.
So there you go. That's the best option at this point in time. Well, of course, we know about the COVID cases in India, which is alarming, which is another topic. But, people who are coming in from India to Australia, what are their options at this point in time?
So from India to Australia, we have so many options. Fortunately, at this stage, there are quite a few charters coming. So 5th of May is the next available charter, which got hardly 2-3 seats left. Then we got 7th of May charter, that's Malaysian Airlines charter. The 7th of May, which is flying from Chennai to Perth, and we can connect you anywhere. We got 14th of May also starting from Chennai. 19th of May starting from Delhi to Perth, and then we have a quarantine option in Brisbane. And 21st of May is also starting from Delhi, and this one is going to Perth. And you have to quarantine Perth. So guys, remember one thing, that when you select the dates, then you have to make sure and check where you're going to quarantine. In most of the charters, you don't have option to quarantine in Melbourne. But in some charters, you can quarantine in Brisbane, for example, 19th of May. And the 5th of May is giving you option to quarantine in Sydney as well. But majority of all charters are giving you option to quarantine Perth, then you can take flight after 14 days. And also, guys, I want to really remind you, since we are talking about India to Australia, please make sure if you're booking those flights, then you 100% goes on those flights, because these all flights are really expensive. Fares are starting from $3,000 to $4,000 for economy, and they all are 100% non-refundable, non-changeable, non-transferable. So I've seen few people in last week where, they booked the flight. In fact, they were okay before, but just before 4 or 5 days before they got the COVID, hence they lost the whole money. So $3,500 someone lost just few days back. So please make sure that you are not going to get COVID. You have to quarantine yourself strictly at home once you book those flights and go from there. But there are quite a few options. This is the time where you can come back, though they are expensive flights, but you won't get stuck at this stage. Everything looks good.
And that is the main point, that you will not get stuck. So that is very, very important, because otherwise you could try something else, but then you get stuck. Well, right now, with all this happening and everything that is taking place with changing rules and everything, what are your travel tips for people at this point in time?
So tips would be, guys, as I always mention, that's my always first point. Please always check all latest rules and regulations, and whether you need any state pass, whether you're going from Australia to India or India to Australia. At this stage, from India to Australia, definitely you need pass, especially if you're going to Perth. You need G2G pass, which is mandatory. In fact, if you're coming to Queensland or other states as well, they might have the state pass, which is really mandatory to do it. Sometimes we send all the details to everyone and they don't read it and don't fill it, thinking, it's not required, they haven't checked. So please don't believe what other people tells you. You should always check with the travel professional, whoever is booking the flight, because maybe they have not checked for one person, but if they say it's mandatory, that means you have to do it. So please make sure you're filling all the forms and completing all of them. That's very, very important. And also, guys, don't forget to fill the self-reporting form, the Indian arrival form, which we always send it to you. We have still seen few cases where people have not done it, and airlines was really helping them at check-in, and hence the charter got delayed. So you can imagine if there are 185 passengers, 300 passengers are going, and many of them are not doing. Airlines don't want to leave you, right? So, but they all are doing their best and giving the best services. So make sure that you are filling all the documents. If your friend says that they have not filled it, that they have gone, it may be a chance, or maybe your friend doesn't know it. But the fact is that right now you cannot leave Australia unless you fill the Air Suvidha self-reporting form. You don't care if you don't have a physical copy of your COVID report and the arrival form, they won't let you go. So it may be a chance your friend didn't go. Also want to tell you, if you are planning to bring any unaccompanied child, remember, since Air DFAT is not allowing those flights. So we have seen some passengers that who have done the whole plan and thinking their friend is coming from DFAT, they can book the same. But please don't do that, because since DFAT is not allowing the unaccompanied child, we can bring them in charter flights, but definitely you have to fill the statutory declaration as well, which I have a copy with me, the letter of sample or format, you can say. So if you need any of those, just let me know. I'm happy to help you. We got 4 child at this stage. Along with my other colleagues, I'm planning to bring them from India with other passengers. So if you want to bring your child, just give us a call or message us. We'll definitely try to find out someone who can help you. And guys, face mask is not mandatory everywhere else, but it's still at airport. It is mandatory. It is required. So please make sure you have one with you. And the COVID test still is 72 hours before your international flight. Please don't get confused. It's the same thing from India to Australia and India to Australia. I heard many people told me, no, it has to be by the time you reach India. And for your surprise, I got one passenger last week where, he did just one day before thinking, no, it has to be from the time you reach India. And he did not get it till last minute. It was just a fortunate thing that last minute the GP helped and sent him a letter. So please don't assume anything and don't really stress out and assume things yourself, because when we say 72 hours before international flight, that means the same. So you don't have to think it's the arrival time. So these are the main things. If you are planning to fly any other dates other than I mentioned to you that we have flights, you can always send us expression of interest, which we can send to airlines and charter operators, and also let them know that these are the dates you are interested. We can contact you as soon as those flights becomes available. And please, if you like this episode, share with your family and friends. It is the time where they all need to be updated and take a very informed decision, because things and changing every single time. And you can see our other 26 episodes as well on Australian India Radio, Chantix Media, Brisbane Indian Times, AusIndia travel page. They all are widely available in all our social media platforms. And if you have any question, feel free to email us, feel free to message us. We have all options. Anything related to travel, we can always help you. In fact, if you need a travel packages to New Zealand or domestically anywhere, you can contact us as well. And you can see reviews, what other passenger tells you about their experience with us. And don't worry, guys, if you have booked with us or not. Once again, we offer the services that you can contact us and we will reply to you. We will help you, doesn't matter what. So yes, feel free to contact us, and you can call us or our hotline, which is 04044033264. That's the hotline number. You can see on the screen, we got all the landline numbers as well. email ID, Facebook. You can jump on our website with www.ausindiatravel.com.au. So we are widely available everywhere to help you. So yes, just take care of yourself and contact us if you need any help at all.
And thank you very much for that very, very informative session. And, there was quite a lot that we went through and quite a lot of updates that are out there. So as Tanvi has already mentioned, that is always good to check on things. And of course, never assume things. If you are in doubt, call her and get some information and do the right things. When they talk about the things, they're talking about things, she's talking about all this with experience. You might meet friends, no, it's okay, I did it this way, but only to go to the airport and find out that it's not accepted. So it is very, very important that under the traveling circumstances at this point in time, with all the rules and regulations, that it is advisable, to listen and, cross the T's and dot the I's, as they say, because otherwise there's too much at risk. You might, buy the ticket and whatever, and you could be turned back to say, no, you have not fulfilled all the obligations. So it is wonderful that you have shared all this information with everyone, Tanvi. Once again, as she has mentioned, you can go back and watch all the episodes, and there's so many good reviews that have been coming out. People like the episodes. They're very, very informative, especially in this point in time when, people like to travel. And as you have seen from that short clip from New Zealand, when people are arriving there, how excited they are, how emotional, the scene is. So, people are planning to go, but to make that the part easier or to facilitate that way, that's where Tanvi is there. Once again, Tanvi, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Hind.